Well, good morning. Welcome. It's Easter Sunday morning. We're really glad you joined us, whether you're tuning in from the church or whether you're tuning in from outside. Welcome to Godstone Baptist Church Easter Sunday service. We're going to start with some familiar words. Let me read them to you. Here we go. I think you know how this works. Here we go. I'm trusting you to do this at home. Right, you ready? Christ is risen. The Lord is risen. Excellent. I could hear you all the way over here. That was fantastic. Today you get to choose how you worship this Sunday morning. A service is a bit like an Easter buffet. A buffet of praise. There you go. How's that? Without, of course, those dodgy party eggs that taste like plastic. So we're not going to have any of those. On the members email, if you're a member of the church, there's an Easter Sunday kids session. You just need to open the PDF file on that email, either on a PC or a tablet. You can read through it as a family, click on the links, and that will take you straight to some worship videos and some other videos. So you can use that this morning. On our YouTube channel, Ali Haynes has uploaded some Easter Sunday praise for the kids, so you can turn that on now. You can do it now if you want, hit the pause button and have some praise. There's also a worship set that you can use, and it's by Carrie Job and Worship Together. They've released a worship set free for all the churches in this special time because they realise how difficult it is for folks to worship during the lockdown. So that is an Easter Sunday worship set by Carrie Job, and it is wonderful. It's about 20 odd minutes long. If you want an extended time of worship at any point, just pause, go to our YouTube channel or the links that are on your email. That would be really good. Let's celebrate Easter.
See what a morning, see what a morning, gloriously bright, with the dawning of hope in Jerusalem. Folded the grave clothes, tomb filled with light, as the angels announce Christ is risen. See God's salvation plan, Lord in love, born in pain, paid in sacrifice, fulfilled in Christ the man, for he lives, Christ is risen from the dead. See Mary weeping, see Mary weep, where is he laid? As in sorrow she turns from the empty tomb, hears a voice speaking, calling her name. It's the Master, the Lord, raised to life again. The voice that spans the years, speaking life, stirring hope, bringing peace to us, will sound till he appears, for he lives, Christ is risen from the dead. One with the Father, one with the Father, ancient of days, through the Spirit who clothes faith with certainty. Honor and blessing, glory and praise to the King, crowned with power and authority. And we are raised with him. Death is dead, love has won, Christ has conquered. And we shall reign with him, for he lives, Christ is risen from the
Now, it's really great to see that the lockdown hasn't stopped you remembering what Easter is all about. And earlier on this week, you might remember we asked you to send us some of your Easter artwork, and I just thought it'd be appropriate to show you. So in order to do that, we obviously need the appropriate music. So here we go. Got that? It's a bit like Vision On. Some of you are too young to remember that. There you go, Tony Hart, Vision On. You can't watch artwork without doing this. Okay, so here we go, the music is playing. Here we go, let's have a look at what we've got on here. First offering, this is Jess Harwood. Well done, Jess. That's her picture of the cross. That is fantastic. Look at that, look at the colours in that. That is brilliant. Is that a bit of a Hockney? I don't know. It's a bit like that. Very professional, very good, love it. Fantastic colours. What else has been going on? Oh yeah, Robin has been cooking. Great British Bake Off, watch out. So Robin's been cooking, and this is what she produced. Look at them. Pretty good, I think. Last time I tried to produce anything like that, the UN turned up and took them away, claiming they were weapons of mass destruction. So this is pretty good, I think. Well done, Robin. Great job. And not to be outdone, her brother, there he is. Well, he's sort of there. He's behind this massive Easter egg. That's Joel, and Joel has produced a massive Easter egg with all the typical Easter things like sheep and chicks and ducks and things like that, and a Boeing 747 on the top, which is very Eastery. Thank you, Joel. That is terrific. Great job. And not to be outdone, we've been doing a bit of baking and cooking, and our Hannah, that's what she produced. I say produced, past tense, because I have eaten a few of them. So that's a little glimpse into the past right there for you. Great, excellent. But well done, all of you, for celebrating Easter in so many different ways. Great job. Hello folks, welcome back, and I'm glad to say Eddie's in the house this morning on Easter Sunday morning. Well, he's always in the house because he sort of lives here really. But Eddie's in the house, and I hadn't thought this through. We're going to have a bit of a problem here, so I'm going to need you to shout really loud. Normally to wake up Eddie, everybody shouts "Wake up Eddie" after 3. That's what we normally do. But of course, you're not here. So you're going to have to shout really loud wherever you are. Are you ready? Maybe open a window. I don't know, something like that. Here we go. After 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yep, didn't hear a thing. Okay, we're going to have to try that again, and you really are going to have to yell. Are you ready? Okay, after 3, wake up Eddie. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I think I got that. Hello. What was that? Yeah, well, it's a long explanation. Don't panic. I was going to see you, Ed. How you doing? You all right? Excellent. You know, you always remind me of Easter, Ed. You always remind me of Easter. Why is that? Well, in the Bible it says, "Wake up, O sleeper, and rise from the dead, and Christ will shine upon you." Getting you out of that box is like raising the dead. Every time. Yeah, it really is. Okay. So how have you been doing in the lockdown? How have you been doing? You're sort of used to it. You're used to it. What? Oh, I see. Because you live in a small confined space all the time. Okay, well that's fair enough. I hadn't thought that through either. Okay, that's good. So you're coping with it really well. What have you been doing with your time? Been keeping busy. He's been keeping busy. That's what I like. Industrious. Very good. So what have you been doing? You've been learning Mandarin. You've been learning Mandarin. You have. You've been learning Mandarin. Fantastic. What have you learned? You've learnt how to say hello in Mandarin. You've learnt how to write it. You've learnt how to write it too. Say it and write it. Okay, well, can you give us a demonstration? Can you show us how to write hello in Mandarin? It's on the screen. Oh, right, so you've prepared. He's prepared all this beforehand. Here we go. Let's have a look. Ed, that's hi in Mandarins. I don't know why I bother. I really don't know why I bother. Do you know? Anyway, are you enjoying Easter? Yeah, there is. There's always good telly on at Easter. Ed likes a bit of telly, so we don't want to miss out on some good telly. So I thought I'd mention to you what's on this weekend, so we can watch it together. Okay, here we go. And here's the latest adaptation from Aardman Studios. I always love a bit of Wallace and Gromit, don't you? Here we go. This is Wallace and Gromit and A Grand Hour Out. Bit short. Well, you know, we're only allowed just for 1 hour, just once a day. That's the deal. So they have to do it too. Okay, so but there is what I am really looking forward to is that there is a very special edition of Star Trek showing. Did you know that? There's a special edition. It's one of the lost episodes of Star Trek, and in this one Kirk and Spock find an alien portal that transports them back to 2020. Look, here we go. I think we've got a clip of that. There you go. Look at that. There they go. Into 2020. And about 5 minutes later, we see them returning, mumbling furiously, "That was a really bad idea." Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. In fact, you can even hear Kirk grumbling about the fact that all the pubs are shut and you can't get Romulan ale anywhere. It's terrible, really. It's a very short episode, actually. Very, very short. Serious. It's a very short episode, that one. Yeah. Okay. What else is on? You want to know what else is on? Okay. Well, what else is on? I think we have. Oh yeah, there's some bad news. Yeah, bad news. The bad news is the usual screening of The Sound of Music is off this weekend. Yeah, it is. It's off. It's off this weekend. Unfortunately, as you can see here, Julie Andrews was caught in a national park not observing social distancing rules. So she just wasn't doing it. And the Von Trapp family in the background there, they're helping the police with their inquiries. Something about being made to dress in old curtains. I don't know what it's all about, but it's all a bit messy, really. Anyway, isn't it? You don't believe it. Well, yeah, no, I did make that up. I've got to confess, I made that up. But listen, Ed, listen. This is really important. There were quite a few people on Easter Day who didn't believe what they were told either. Not about Julie Andrews, about other stuff. In fact, there were a lot of funny things said at Easter, and most people didn't believe it the first time round, but they did by the time it ended. It was amazing. In fact, at Easter, the truth was stranger than fiction, and people were amazed at what had happened. I want to show you a little clip, and this is a reading from the Easter story. And this is one person who really just didn't believe what was going on.
Now Thomas, one of the 12, called the twin, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see in his hands the mark of the nails, and place my finger into the mark of the nails, and place my hand into his side, I will never believe." Eight days later, his disciples were inside again, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands, and put out your hand and place it in my side. Do not disbelieve, but believe." Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said to him, "Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of the disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name.
Okay, that was the story of Thomas, who was doubting Thomas, but in the end was believing Thomas. We're going to pray together right now. About 10 days before the lockdown happened, a few of us here at the church went to listen to Sam and Sarah Hargreaves, and they run a ministry called Engage Worship, where they teach churches how to worship, but how to worship in a way that's relevant to their everyday lives. And they've created some praise and some prayer for you from their own living room. So this is based on John chapter 20. This is when the disciples were together with the doors locked because they were afraid. And the risen Jesus came and stood among them. And he said this, "Peace be with you." Take a moment now to worship. Join in, it's very easy. Worship, and also to pray for those people and those situations that you care about this morning.
On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side. The disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. Again, Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." And with that, he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." Listen to the words of the risen Christ. Peace be with you. Come and see his hands and the wounds in his side. Peace be with you. With the eyes of faith, are you ready to see? Peace be with you. Come with all your doubts, for it's time to believe. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Let the breath of God now fill me. Wholeness, fullness, life within me. Full forgiveness given freely, I receive as Jesus sends me. Listen to the words of the risen Christ. Peace be with you. Come and see his hands and the wound in his side. Peace be with you. With the eyes of faith, are you ready to see? Peace be
Jesus said, "Peace be with you," to the disciples. And I believe he speaks that to us today, wherever we find ourselves. So maybe just take a moment, maybe stretch out your hands in front of you and just receive Jesus' peace for yourself. Let's hear Jesus sing this over us.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
And now let's just think about any people that we know who need to receive Jesus' peace today. Family, friends, neighbours. Maybe just picture them in your mind's eye. Speak out their name before God. And let's sing out over those people.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
And then finally, let's just think about our world. Let's think about all the different places where people are struggling right now. Any countries, any towns, cities that are on your heart. Again, just picture them or name them before God. And let's just sing out over our world today.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
Peace of the risen Lord.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
You know, the single most important event in the history of the human race took place on the Sunday after Passover in about the year 3033 AD. It's the day we're celebrating today. It's Resurrection Sunday. It's Easter Day. Why is it the most important day in history? Well, without Easter Sunday, the name of Jesus Christ would be about as recognisable as the name Theudas. I know what you're thinking. Who on earth is Theudas? Well, that's the point. He lived in Israel just a few years before Jesus arrived on the scene. He was, in his time, a really popular prophet and a teacher. He attracted hundreds of followers. But when he offended the wrong people, he too was put to death. Sound familiar so far? Then why have we never heard of him? The reason is because after his death, his followers scattered and went back to their old lives, and the world forgot about Theudas. Now, when Jesus died, it looked like the same thing was going to happen all over again. Before he was even dead, the overwhelming majority of his followers had deserted him and had run away. You remember Peter? Peter with all the brash promises? He was one of Jesus' inner circle, closest and most committed. Jesus had once said to him, "You are my rock. And on this rock, I'm going to build my church." But the rock crumbled. When Jesus faced death, the rock denied him. He deserted him. And he went back to his fishing boat in Galilee. He gave up. When Jesus died, it appeared that Jesus' cause would die with him. That Jesus, in fact, would become as obscure as Theudas. But oddly enough, that never happened. The followers of Jesus didn't fade into oblivion. In fact, they all came back bolder and more courageous than ever before. If you read the records, you discover that 11 out of the 12 disciples gave up their lives for what they were saying. The very existence of the church today is evidence that something happened to this Jesus of Nazareth. Something extraordinary. What happened? What made the difference? Easter Sunday made the difference. Seeing Jesus alive made the difference in these men's lives. You know, Jesus said to Thomas, "You believe because you've seen me. Blessed are those who believe without seeing me." May you be blessed. And may you see the risen Christ yourself. Find him yourself. And may you never be the same again. Peter said in 1 Peter 1 verse 8, you love him even though you've never seen him. Though you do not see him now, you trust him and you rejoice with a glorious and inexpressible joy. The reward for trusting him will be the salvation of your souls. May you too, this Easter time, be filled with an inexpressible joy. May you see him, and may your life never be the same again. God bless you. Have a wonderful Easter.
The moon and stars they wept, the morning sun was dead, the Savior of the world was fallen. His body on the cross, his blood poured out for us, the weight of every curse upon him. One final breath he gave as heaven looked away. The Son of God was laid in darkness. A battle in the grave, a war on death was waged. The power of hell forever broken. The ground began to shake, the stone was rolled away. His perfect love could not be overcome. And now death, where is your sting? Our resurrected King has rendered you defeated. And now forever he is glorified. Forever he is lifted high, and forever he is risen. He is alive, and he of stain. Our resurrected King has overcome. He's overcome. Oh.